This is C. Welcome to the channel. I've been an X-Men fan for about most of my life, really, and I'm getting to the point now where my X-Men collection is almost there. I think it's about 41 issues that I need to complete the entire first run of Volume 1 of Uncanny X-Men. Now I have all the rest after that, but obviously the issues from 1963 onwards are going to be the ones. They're a little bit tricky. They're a little bit older and they're a bit more expensive. So what I wanted to do was quickly have a go through this short box. Now this short box here is every issue from, well, will be every issue from issue 1 all the way to issue 100, if I can indeed fit them all in. The problem I've got is that at this end I have the annuals. So we have king size special number 1 to number 2, number 3, 4, all the way through to the Grail, that is number 14, which is the first Gambit, technically. Not his first cover appearance, but his first in terms of when it was published. And we have all the others. So these are all the rest of the annuals up to the Sideways annual of 2021. And then I've got a couple of issues of half or -1 even. Technically a reprinting of number 1. I have a facsimile over there on my door. And then this is where we start. So number 1 would go here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I have this reprint, which came with a Toy Biz figure, I believe. Possibly Angel, possibly Iceman, probably Angel. Not quite sure. Don't really remember, but I have it. And then the first issue that I have in terms of actual comic books, issue 11, which is the introduction of the Stranger. I don't think much happened with him beyond this. And then we have issue 13. So this is one that I've put in a clear backing board. You can see there's a little bit of foxing there, which is this here. And I could probably do with giving this a bit of a clean, to be honest. It looks like there's a little bit of water damage there. But this here is the second appearance of the Juggernaut. We've got some spine creases along, so it's not a perfect copy, but getting these sorts of comics from this time, it's from 1965, it's going to be pretty hard to get hold of things that are near mint, and I certainly won't be able to in terms of bank balance. Then we have issue 14. This is the first appearance of the Sentinels. Again, you know, you're looking at some damage here. It's not by no means a perfect copy, but it's a copy, and any copy is better than no copy, in my opinion. Then we have number 15. Now, this is a personal favourite, as it's the Origin of Beast, who happens to be my most favourite character. Now, he's not blue and furry, he just has huge hands and feet. But we have a nice little run there, 13, 14, 15. Then we have a... this might be the Iceman copy, you know. So this is the one I believe came with Toy Biz. It wasn't particularly well looked after, but it is a reprint of that issue. issue 21. Now we've got a nice reading line here. So this would have been, and you got corners as well, not great. But this would have been folded in half and put and carried around back in 1966 probably. A copy of 22. We have, so this is the first one so this is issue 24. Now I do have issue number 23, which will obviously go between these, on its way, but it isn't quite here yet. But we have here just a really nice copy. Again, we've got a couple of spine creases down the spine here, but for its age, from 1966, I don't think we can complain too much about that. Otherwise, it's looking pretty sharp. I will apologise, above my head is a halogen light, and I think every time I could do this, you can see it. I'll try not to get that in frame too much. We have a nice copy of issue 25 here, again some spine creases along here. So you'll notice I've got quite a few scratches on my hands. I've recently got a kitten, so that will explain those. Issue 26. Now what we have here, I think you can see just here, we have a bit of spine roll. That's something that can be fixed with pressing, which is something I haven't quite ventured into yet. But perhaps somewhere along the way we will. Issue 27. And you can see it's a nice flat copy. You've got a little spine crease here, little spine crease here on Beast Club. And this is I think it's the second appearance of the Mimic, potentially the third. He's a character that has all the powers of all these 4 plus Angel. Now we have issue 28. This is another one that's in a clear backing board, as it's the first appearance of Banshee, who I believe started off as a bit of a villain. You can also see that Mimic here is part of the team. Nice. We have number 32. This is the third appearance of Juggernaut. Again, it's a little bit dirty up here. This can be cleaned. But in terms of what we have in terms of spine creases, got one there. Other than that, pretty sharp down there, considering its age. We have quite an iconic cover there. Some floating heads. Got colour breaking crease here. It's always going to be tough to get this copy. It's got a nice dark cover. You're going to struggle to get something that's perfect. But even here you can see the creases all along the spine. It just tells me someone's read it, someone's loved it, and that counts for more than sticking it in a slab, leaving it to accrue value. Issue 34. $35, $38 even. So this is obviously sold in the UK, has a UK price stamp on it. I do try to avoid getting things like that, but sometimes that's all you can get. And as I say, a copy is better than no copy. 41, you can see it's quite a dark cover, so you've got this colour breaking crease here, another one here. You've got a whole host of spine issues there, but a copy nonetheless. We have a Magneto cover. Is this my first Magneto cover? Probably, actually. got a lot of white, which makes it a lot easier to not see the issues with. Obviously you can see one just here, the lasso, the rope. Some wear around the spine, the staples. But all in all, pretty nice copy. Issue 44. Again, that you can see the spine wear all along, but presents really nicely. Nice deep purples. There's not huge lines across. There's no huge creases. Quicksilver cover there. His original green costume before he moved to blue. Obviously, Cyclops is not in his original costume, he's in his second costume. I think this is when they were sort of struggling to think of stories, and they started doing individual stories. You should also notice that a lot of the villains that they fight, they sort of didn't really appear much beyond this original run. Only Magneto, Mastermind shows back up, Toad shows back up, Blob shows back up, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, but so many disappear, you don't see much of them. Occasionally, from time to time, might show up in other books, but they were never great villains. Eric the Red. Issue 52. So this is after they meet Polaris. Haven't got those issues yet. It's something I do want to get. Yeah, you got the reader's crease right down the middle there. Again, where it's been folded in half. And this is the first appearance of Sauron, or Sauron. Sauron, I believe, is the way you say it for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, this is a vampiric pterosaur. And there he is there. You can see a bit more of him. A UK stamp here. Looks like someone tries to rub it off actually and get rid of it. Oh, what a shock. We have a comic here from 1969, so the 60s. And the female character is the one who has to be rescued. Are we shocked? Well, we are not. That's the way it was. We have the Hulk showing up. Crease there on the front. Some creases along the spine. Yeah, on the whole, female character being the one that gets captured. I'm glad to see we're seeing a lot more change in that regard. We're starting to see women leading books. El Tigre, another one of those villains that shows up and then, yeah, they kind of disappeared. We've got, again, a lot of spine wear here, but it is a copy nonetheless. We are getting to the point now where I have the full run all the way up to issue 544. I won't go through all of them. So we're in, is this reprint territory? No, not quite. 76. Or are we in reprint territory? I think we are, you know. So going back here, 33. I also have 73. I do have, so 66 was the last issue of the X-Men. This is where it stopped. And it was only 67 that started to reprint the stories from back here. The X-Men was essentially a dead book. It wasn't until we got here with Giant Size X-Men #1 that we start to see it get revitalised. So yes, 76 is a reprint, and it reprints this issue here. Try not to drop them, they're very precious, I promise. So you can see they took the well, it might not be a reprint of that one actually. I might be missing that issue, but you get the idea. The artwork's similar. Put that to the side, I'll pop that back in later. So we're 76, and I do have 74 and 75 on their way into 76, into 77, which arrived the other day, Super Adaptoid. This reprints an earlier issue that I don't have just yet. It's got a very nice copy. We do have some spine creases that you can see there. There's also something sticky here that I couldn't get rid of, and there's some ink splotches down here, but otherwise very nice. Merlin, I don't even think that's the same Merlin that is to do with Captain Britain. 78, it's a reprint. 79, Cobalt Man. Again, Cobalt Man, you heard much of him? Is he in the MCU? No. We have issue 80, a Juggernaut copy. Issue 82. Now, this certainly reprints an earlier issue. So this is 83. This is where the X-Men meet Spider-Man. See, this is a reprint. This isn't the first time, but it's nice to see Spider-Man mingling. Meccano, another character that disappears. 84. 85. 86. Now I think this is one where I can show you. Do I have the earlier issue? Let me just quickly check my list. I might not, you know. I'm going to struggle to show you the... oh no, I do. 38. Right, let's go back here. 38 should be around here somewhere. 26. 41. 38. So you can literally see they just changed the colours a little bit, and they reprinted the story in its entirety. Obviously this box is different, the text up here is different, but the artwork in general, yeah, you can see it's basically the same. So then we're at 87. So I know I don't have the original for this, but I was quite happy with this copy. It's every copy I saw of this, because it's a black cover, the crease is all along, or it just wasn't attached. But we got a nice copy here. There's a ding here in this corner, but that's something that with a press could potentially get most of that out. '88. This is Frankenstein. You've got another reader's crease here. I believe the original cover for this is white rather than blue. 89. 90. Again, this is reused cover art and a black background, so you can see the creases, bright colour. But we've got, actually it looks like that page isn't attached as well. I might have to look into that. We saw this earlier, the Power of Magneto. Where did we see that artwork? Here? Look at that. Shot. Again, we just have a bit of a border around here. Otherwise, exactly the same artwork. So we're into almost the end. 92, 93. Now we saw this artwork earlier, didn't we, as well? I mentioned Quicksilver's green costume. So this was the last reprinted issue of the X-Men. 93. It could have died here. However, this book came out. So this is Giant Size X-Men #1. Little Stan Lee signature here. His gold pin ran out just before he signed this copy. But we saw Colossus introduced, Nightcrawler introduced, Thunderbird introduced, Storm introduced, and Wolverine make it onto a mutant team rather than just fighting the Hulk. We have a reprint copy here. I've kind of read it to death. We have a facsimile edition. The price difference here, $7.99. 50 cents. It all makes sense. I also have a $4.99 copy, facsimile copy of this on my wall. And then we've got this one. Just a variant cover. Or a tribute. And then X-Men started to kick off with Chris Claremont. Issue 94. Again, creases. Crease up here. But we put it in a clear backing board bag. 95. And X-Men dies this issue. And they certainly did. Issue 96. And we've got a nice cover here. Nice cover, nice spine. 97. We have Havoc. He's one who I need to get the first appearance of. I was always weirded out by this staple because this one is here and that one is through the front. A bit odd. 98, we have the Sentinels back. This is Chris Claremont bringing the Sentinels back into the X-Men lore. Issue 99. This is a newsstand variant rather than the direct. These are a bit rarer, but I do like to get the directs if I can. Got some creases along here. And then issue 100. We have a clear back. And we have the new X-Men versus some androids. And it's quite nice to see all the X-Men together on issue, to be fair. And if you're savvy, you might notice there's one of the mutants missing, who was on an earlier one. So one did indeed die. But yeah, so that is some of the issues that I am missing. And just to recap those, it is 1 to 6, plus 7, 8, 9 and 10. Issue 12, issue 16 and 17, issues 19 and 20, 29, 20, that's it, 29, 30, 31, 34, 36, 35, 36, 37, issue 40, issue 42, issue 46, 49, 50, 51, 54, 55, 56, 58, 59, 62, 64, 65, 67, 68, 69 and 70. So as it stands, I have an unbroken run from issue 71 all the way through to issue 544, where volume 1 ended. And then I have everything after that. So I'm getting there, slowly but surely. I am getting there. Now, a lot of these, they're not great stories, to be fair. If I can be critical, you have to appreciate where something's come from to appreciate where it is now. And the impact that it has on culture. Just look at Spider-Man, how much people love that, and how it's doing nowadays. But I'm getting there, and it's kind of a bit of a goal for me to complete that run, so that I can have, it'll be from here, issue 1, from here even, issue 1, all the way through to issue 100. And if I can do it, I'll be very, very pleased. As I say, I think it's about 41 issues to go. But yeah, almost there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.